Hello and welcome back. I am Chris with Marksman Shooting Sports and WeBuyGuns.com in Westfield, Indiana, and you are watching Marksman TV. Welcome back to another gun store vlog. About every month or two, I like to give you guys an industry update of what is going on around supply with new firearms, used firearms, ammunition, things like that. So I wanted to go ahead and come with you guys sort of as we enter spring with what we're looking at inside the industry. Anyway, if that sounds interesting to you, please stick around. What's coming up now. Okay, so undoubtedly over the past year, supply has been really bad with firearms and ammunition. Now, again, I like to give these updates just to keep you guys aware of some things that I am seeing from my side of the counter in terms of supply. Of course, I work intimately with my suppliers. I see the ebbs and the flow of the supply of different ammunition, different inventory, and stuff like that. So from time to time, I'll give you guys an update on what's going on there. First of all, I want to start off with new firearms. This is the segment where I am seeing the most positive change in terms of supply. Again, and I've talked about this in the past in previous videos, but for those of you just joining in on this channel, when it comes to supply with the wholesalers, that's where we are getting pretty much all of our inventory. We do not deal direct with the manufacturers. Now, some of the big, large chain retailers might deal direct with the manufacturers, but unless you are a really big account, you're dealing strictly with wholesalers, which is what we do. Now, again, over the past years, the wholesaler inventory has been very depressed. We are still seeing that, so we still get everything in on allocation phone calls. Basically, we cannot just log into our distributor websites and order anything that we want to. We have to wait. Personally, I can't really speak for all gun stores, but the relationship I have with my primary vendor is I get a phone call about 2 to 3 times a week. He gives me a list of some different things that he has on allocation available to me. I tell him the things on the list that I want, the things that I don't want. We take most of everything. And then, the inventory shows up maybe a week or so later, 3 days to a week, depending on what it is. And then, we get our next phone call a couple of days after that. So we never really have a good idea of exactly what is on the way. We keep kind of a rolling week-long assessment, or at least forecast of the inventory that is on the way to us. Now, when it comes to special orders, again, for that reason, we cannot just log into our retailer websites or distributor websites and pick items that we necessarily want to stock in the store, or if a customer comes in and wants a particular item, we cannot necessarily source it for them. Again, that aspect of it is still pretty bad. Now, one positive thing is the allocation phone calls are coming more frequently, and there's more stuff on them and more desirable stuff on them. So either other dealers from their allocation list are choosing not to take those items, maybe because their stores are filling back up and they're seeing a drop in the demand, or the manufacturers are getting their supply back up and able to meet the demand a little bit better. So it's really hard to say at this point exactly what's driving that, but I am seeing a positive change in that direction. My store is filling back up a lot more quickly. A lot of that has to come with used firearms, which we'll talk about here in a minute, but the new stuff is undoubtedly coming in more frequently. Now, a lot of you guys might be noticing at your local gun store, everybody seems to have gotten in a big surge of inventory. There is a reason for that. One of the big wholesalers does have an annual e-show where they hold back a lot of highly desirable stuff and they release it all to the dealers over a 2 to 3 day period during their big e-show. It's a big promotional event that they have done every year, I guess, since they were started back in the 70s or 80s or whatever. So that's a big promotion that they run. They just had their e-show, so a lot of dealers were able to get 50, 60, 70 firearms. The key dealers, I don't know about the other dealers that were not key dealers with this particular distributor, so we were able to get in a huge influx of new inventory. That's like Smith ARs, Ruger ARs, when I say Glocks, Smith & Wesson pistols, Ruger pistols, Springfield pistols. So yeah, I want to say we got in somewhere between 60 and 80 new firearms in one shot. Now, we actually got that last year around this time as well, even though the supply back then was even worse than it is now, because we were right at the beginning of the shortage back a year ago. So that's why you're seeing all that stuff. That does not mean that that stuff is now available everywhere and we could just keep ordering it anytime we want. That was a one-shot deal. When all of that inventory is gone, we are back to our allocation phone calls and just getting what's available. So again, if you're looking to special order anything from your dealer, it's really hard to do that right now, again, because we can't just go on and search their inventories for product like we used to. Now, you should be able to find a lot of that stuff through online vendors as well. Again, a lot of people, at least my customers, have been using transfers. in the recent, over the past year, just because those big online retailers are getting inventory probably at about the same level that the wholesalers are getting it at. So of course their supply and their distribution is going to be a little bit better in more lean times like this. Just the power of scaling and the economics of being kind of a, an 800-pound gorilla of a business. You kind of get that preferential treatment. So again, if you can't find what you're looking for, the online stores are still kind of your best bet at this point. Now, when it comes to used inventory, we are seeing a huge increase in used inventory, but the reason for that is our new website. A lot of you guys are aware of that. My local market has not changed very much, so I don't know. It's really hard for me to gauge. My website's only about 6 weeks old. I'm bringing in a lot of stuff from that, but I do not have historical data to compare that to see if it's trending up or trending down. So I do not know if most people are trading in or selling used inventory. It has been a good time to do that over the past year as demand for those items has been really high. So offers for those items have been very high. We've offered more for used inventory over this past year than we did 2 or 3 years ago. Clearly, as the inventory is selling a lot higher, so we can sell it for more, we offer more. So again, I don't know. I would say, at least if I use my local store alone as an indicator of how much inventory we are getting locally, it's staying pretty stagnant. I'm not seeing a big increase locally, but of course, overall, we are getting a lot because I have that drive coming in from our website, which actually in its first month brought in more firearms than our retail store did, and it's been here for 7 years, so that's great there. Ammunition, this is a big one that everybody's asking about. Ammunition, I am seeing small improvements in, but I am not seeing anything. I'm not seeing mountains being moved in terms of getting the ammunition supply back. Now, we all know the news about Remington resuming their ammunition production. I did get in a shipment of 12 gauge slugs and buckshot, a pretty good shipment of both Remington branded ammunition. So that's the first, and I think I got like 4 or 5 boxes of 9mm. So, but that's the first Remington branded ammo I've gotten in about a year. So that lets me know, of course, that production is up, unless that's old stock that's been sitting around somewhere, which I would find hard to believe. But that ammunition line is starting to filter in, at least through my little store here in Indiana. So I imagine having that next player in the market producing ammunition is a good thing. I don't know what the ammunition issue was mainly around, whether it was capacity or whether it was material. If it was a mainly capacity issue with like Vista Outdoors, CCI, Minimag, Spear, and those brands, and then over with Winchester and PPU and PMC and all those different brands, if it was mainly a capacity issue on that front, it'll be good to have another manufacturer, another factory open up producing that ammunition, and we should see more ammunition in the market as a result of that. But again, we're sort of at the beginning. Getting a whole manufacturing line up and getting their products out into the market is going to take more than a few days. So we'll probably see that over the next few months to see how that shapes up. But on the retail side of things, on my side of the counter, I am not seeing a huge difference in the ammunition supply. Anyway, overall, I am seeing the supply of everything start to trickle back in. Over the past year, there has been plenty of times where I've only had, 8 firearms in my inventory. You guys have seen over my shoulder and in different vlogs the really sad kind of disposition of my store. Really, really low on inventory, and I'm happy to report, at least here, I am almost fully stocked again. I'm probably at about 60 to 75% of my capacity in terms of inventory, whereas 2 months ago, I was only at like 10% of my capacity in terms of inventory. Again, a lot of that is the used stuff that is coming in, and I am really happy about that stuff that's coming in through our website. So thank you all who have gone on and gotten an offer, whether you've accepted or denied or let the offer expire. Again, if you were unable to get a good offer from us that you liked, hopefully you got a better deal somewhere else with that offer certificate that we provided to you. But I am really happy to finally be standing back in almost a fully stocked gun store. So to me, that's a sign of hopefully the changing times. I don't know what the outlook is for other dealers. So if you work at a gun store or own a gun store, please let me know down in the comments section what you guys are seeing in terms of supply and how your inventory is shaping up. I'm sure a lot of you guys, the viewer, the guys who are usually on that side of the counter, please let me know what you are seeing at your local gun shop. So if you're seeing supply ticking back up, hopefully that's the thing. Remember, as the supply at every gun store starts to fill back up, they're going to stop placing orders. That's going to cause pricing to come back down on the wholesale level and on the retail level. And again, if you guys, the customers, slow down in your purchasing of firearms and ammunition, that's only going to cause the pricing to go back down, and hopefully we'll start seeing that over the next few months. We have unfortunately had to have our pricing higher than I would like to have it, again, because I'm paying more for used, and also our pricing on new inventory has gone up, but hopefully we can get back. It's probably, I mean, at this point, I'm probably guessing 1 to 2 years before supply to be pretty normal and pricing to come back down, if nothing crazy politically happens. So, you know, we'll kind of see the outlook there, but at this point I'm rambling, so I'll let you guys go. I am Chris with Marksman Shooting Sports and WeBuyGuns.com in Westfield, Indiana. You are watching Marksman TV, and I will see you next time.